Hey guys, how's it going? Good morning. Let me go set up this room real quick and then we can get started. So it's 6:17 right now. We got about 13 minutes till market open. So we do have a lot of time. I'm gonna go ahead and just get everything all set up so that we can get started. We can start analyzing the charts for this morning's session. So today is October 12th, Tuesday. So kicking off the second day of the trading week. Hopefully it's a lot smoother than it was yesterday. The market actually smoothened out after we got off the live session yesterday. It was pretty choppy in the beginning, and then it picked up, which was good. But yeah, let me just finish setting this up real quick, and then we can get started. Let me get this link out for you guys here in the premium. There we go. All right, cool. I'm going to finish setting this up real quick. It's good. Hey guys, morning. I'm going to continue letting everybody into the room real quick. Once we have enough people in the room, we can get started with our analysis of US 30 this morning. It's 6:18 right now. We have 12 minutes till market open, so we do have a lot of time. So there's no real rush. Just gonna give some people some time to enter the room so that everyone makes it in smoothly. So let's see. All right, so that's good. All right, cool. So I'm still marking up the high-low zones right here. We haven't really, I'm still looking at them right now. We haven't really made very much. I mean, there's progress on it because the strategy is pretty much for the most part done. I'm just looking for certain time periods, or if there's any other thing particularly that we have to be looking for. Like I was trying to see yesterday if like it made a difference whether it was a higher high or lower low. I mean that identifies when like price is trending and stuff like that, because people have been asking me, but I don't think it necessarily is like all that necessary. The main thing is just the low being established and the high being established. So I'll continue to draw these. If you guys are brand new here, this is a new strategy that I'm teaching people. I've been using this strategy for years, but I finally decided to share with everyone here. And we're forward testing it. So this isn't one of the official strategies yet. However, it is one that I've been using pretty much like all day. I've been using this more than the other ones because the other ones I generally only use during New York session when volatility is high. The strategy is actually pretty good when volatility is low. I mean, price still needs to be trading, but it's okay when volatility is low because it's such a quick move. So yeah, if you guys are brand new here, you guys already know what's going on. For the people who are just joining us, you'll figure it out eventually. Yeah, I'm going to go over the strategy anyways with time because people are going to ask questions. Morning, Kenny, morning, David. Morning, Matt. Morning, Miles. Morning, everybody. So if you guys do have questions, you can go ahead and drop your questions in the chat now. I'm probably not going to answer them once I start focusing on just the trades at 6:20 right now. So probably in the next couple of minutes, I won't be answering any more questions. But if you guys do drop questions in the chat, I can answer them at the end once we're done with our official trading. Morning, Professor. Morning, Miles. Morning, Adrian. Morning, Jay. Thierry is asking what settings to use on the trend meter. So depending on what type of trading you're doing, Thierry, if you're doing intraday, you can just set it at default. If you're trading it for scalping, set your trend meter to same as chart. So normally it's set at 30-minute, 1 hour, 2 hour, and 4 hour. If you want to just scalp, change all of these to same as chart, and it's going to adjust to the trend for just a specific time frame. That's how you change it. And morning, Baded. Morning, RJ. Morning, everybody. All right, guys. So it's 6:21 right now. Let's go and analyze US 30 real quick to see what our bias is. So looking at the 1 minute right here, we have a bullish bias. And the reason for that is because price is above the pivots and the trend meter is green. Looking at the 3 minute, same situation. Price is above the pivots and the trend meter is green. Lastly, looking on the 10 minute, price is above the pivots and the trend meter is green. I'm going to go and draw some zones here in case we have some snipes that become available. I don't think we have anything available right now, but I'm going to draw them up so that when they do become available, we'll be aware. So, all right. So I'll leave that there for the snipe entries. But yeah, we have a bullish bias right now. Bullish bias for the 10-minute, bullish bias for the 3-minute, 1 minute. Looking on the 1 hour, it's starting to shift upwards for a bullish bias as well. It was currently bearish all pretty much yesterday. And now it's swinging up to the upside. So now it's swinging right back up for a bullish bias. So for the technical side, everything looks pretty bullish right now. Next, we need to confirm the fundamentals and the retail sentiment. So once we have this confirmed, which we do have confirmed already, we can go back to the charts over here, look at the fundamentals right here. This is the futures data. It's 24-hour data. It hasn't really moved very much. It's at 62 points in the green. So we do have a bullish bias for the fundamentals currently right now, but the market opens in 7 minutes. So when the market does open in 7 minutes, we'll have more accurate identification as to what the bias is here for the fundamentals. Looking at retail sentiment is currently 53% long, which is not very, very biased at all. It's kind of just right down the middle. It's kind of how it was a couple of weeks ago, which is a little unusual because volatility has picked up now. So we would expect it to be more one-sided. But not every year is going to be the same. Not every month is going to be the same. So right now it's just pretty much flat. Everyone's kind of down the middle. There's no real bias one way or the other with regard to retail sentiment. Retail sentiment is basically where retail traders are trading. So right here, it shows that 52% of retail traders are long right now, meaning they're buying and they have active buy positions. But this will change, right? It changes over time. Generally, we like it when it's one-sided, when it's like 60, 70, 80% in one direction or the other, whether it's 70% long or 70% short, because when that's the case, it's easier for us to trade opposite of them because we generally like to trade opposite of everyone else. We don't like to trade where the majority trade because the majority of people fail at trading, right? And we don't want to fail at trading. This is why we have such a high win rate because we trade opposite of everyone else. So yeah, that's that. So the technicals are bullish. Fundamentals are currently bullish. We'll see what happens when the market actually opens. And the retail sentiment is just flat. So for the most part right now, we're looking for buys until we have, a better confirmation to determine, what direction the fundamentals are actually be pushing when the market actually opens, because the market hasn't technically opened yet. We're still in pre-market right now. So when the market opens in the next 6 minutes, we'll determine whether it's going to be strong, but a strong buy or a strong sell with regard to the, to the fundamentals. David's asking, Shawn, when there is a free time, can you review any pre-market setups you would have taken for learning purposes? I mean, you could apply. It's easy for you to just go back and just see like whatever it was here, right? Like if you go on the 1 minute here, there were pre-market entries right here. Here's using whatever strategy you want to apply. If you're using you could look at any of them, David. Like it's really simple. Like you just look here, like you look for the value case momentum signal. There's a signal right there. It's above the pivots. That's a pre-market entry. It doesn't make a difference whether it's pre-market or actual markets. It can be the same type of entry. So you can go back and just see whatever came up, right? There's a lot of entries that came up over here. I don't trade pre-market that far in because I'm still sleeping. This is like too early for me to wake up. If I'm trading pre-market, it's barely like right here, like from 5:30 to market open, or from 5:30 to 6. So like right here, I probably would have taken this trade. I'm not up during this time, so I wouldn't even be looking at any of these trades here. So it's kind of hard for me to tell you which one I would have taken because I'm not awake during that time. That's not the time that I trade. It would be better if you actually look for trades and then showed me like, hey, Shawn, does this look like a good trade? Right? Because there's a lot of entries that are available. There's nothing specific that I'm looking for. I mean, you have to analyze these at the time of, because we look at different things. We look at the fundamentals. I can't go back and see, what were fundamentals looking like over here? Like you have to actually look at them real time, and then you have to document this information. If the fundamentals are bullish and the technicals are bullish, then yeah, obviously you take the trade. But I can't go back and say, I would have taken this trade over here without looking at the fundamentals, because I can't go back in time and see what the fundamentals were at 6 o'clock, right? So what's better for me and for you to actually learn is to actually apply it. For you to just ask me, would you take this trade? That doesn't help you at all, right? Because the thing is, I can't go back and see what the fundamentals were. So what I do recommend is you go back and actually test this stuff yourself. If you run into some issues, then you can ask me questions like, hey, Shawn, I lost this trade. What could I have done differently? And then I'm going to ask you specific questions. I'm going to ask you what the fundamental bias was. What was the retail sentiment like? Those things, because I can't go back and rewind to see those times. I can only look at technicals, but technicals are only one aspect of your analysis, right? So I think that'd be better for you, David. I know you just started like learning how to apply the strategies yourself. So you kind of don't want to make mistakes, but you have to make mistakes. You're not going to learn from anything unless you make mistakes. Because what you'll do is it's all trial and error, right? You make a mistake, you ask me, what can I have done differently? I'll ask you specific questions, and then we can figure out, where the problem occurred. So, David, I think that's what you should do. Go back and back. I wouldn't back test. I would forward test because all the strategies obviously work. So I would forward test, make sure that you confirm certain things: fundamental bias, technical bias, retail sentiment, and then from there we can build off that to see what your issues are, because we need to figure out what your problems are. In order for you to get better, we need to figure out where your weaknesses are so that we can drill in on those and make sure that you don't make any mistakes moving forward. So hopefully that helps, David. But I mean, if you want to go back and see what you could have taken, you can literally just go back and see what entries were available here at pre-market. But I don't trade anywhere before this because I'm awake like around 5:30. So I'm only looking from like 5:30 to 6, which is like the small period right here. Charlie, I wouldn't take that 1 minute because the market's going to open in about 2 minutes. So I probably wouldn't have taken that trade right there, because the last thing you want to do is wait, and then the market opens right here at 6:30, and then it'll either, you're kind of gambling at that point, right? Because it hit 6:30 right here, and then price will either spike up, hit your TP, or spike down, hit your stop loss. So I wouldn't take that 1 minute right there. It's just too close to market open. If it was like from 6:30 to like 6:20, I would take it, but right now it's just way too late. All right, guys, so let's get started. Market is opening in about 2 minutes. We have the fundamentals already identified. So what we're looking for next is we're just going to be looking for we have the technicals already identified as a bullish bias. So now we're just going to be looking for the fundamentals. When the market does open right here, you're going to see this update. It says unchanged right now. When it opens, it's going to show numbers here, whether it be green, whether it be red. We'll identify what the bias is from there. So I'm going to close the chat right now, guys. If you guys do have questions, feel free to drop your questions in the chat, and then I'll answer them at the end once I'm done doing my actual trading. So here we go, guys. All right, market's opening in about 20 seconds. Let's give it a few minutes. I mean, a few seconds, sorry, 20 seconds. We got 15 seconds now. Let's see. We got 10 seconds. All right, market is opening in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And this is why I don't take trades right at the open, because you'll have a spike in one direction or the other. All right, anyway, so market is open right here. Let's look at the fundamentals. So as you guys can see, the numbers here have updated. We have a bullish bias right now, it looks like. So looking over here at the fundamentals for today, the average is currently 78 points in the green. This is not a very strong bias. We generally want it to be above 100 points. But this is still identifying that we have a bullish bias right now. Let me check if there was any news this morning as well. No real news. Futures are currently bullish right now, so it looks good overall. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, everything looks pretty much bullish here. So we have a bullish bias now on US 30, but you can see that price is still dropping, right? So this is something that you want to be very, very careful of, because on market open, you just don't want to get caught on these fake outs, which will make you think that price is going one way, when in reality, it's probably going to be going the other way. So let me go ahead and just refresh the fundamentals over here. I just want to make sure where everything's sitting. Refresh this. Currently 20 points in the green, so it's not very strong. So this can easily shift to the downside. And this is why we don't enter trades right before market open, because we don't want to get caught in these spikes in price. All right, so the fundamentals right now currently still, I mean, they're just right down the middle. So right now there is really no bias. It's only 21 points in the green. If you look here at the actual stock index for US 30, it's just right down the middle. Half is green, half is red. So there really isn't any strong bias here. If we don't have a breakout within the next 5 minutes, then obviously we're going to pass on this. But now the 1 minute is now currently bullish. I mean bearish. Sorry, it's bearish because it's below the pivots and the trend meter is red. Looking at the 3 minute, price is attempting to break below here. If it breaks below there, then it's going to start to become bearish. Same with the 10 minute here. Price came down, rejected off pivot. Now it's coming right back up. So everything is kind of, it's not really stable right now. Let me check the news, because I know we do have news this morning. So today at 7 o'clock, we have JOLTS job openings. That's in about 30 minutes. And then Fed member Clarita speaks at 8:15. So the next thing we have to watch out for is the job openings at 7. That's going to be the main thing for us here. All right. So let's see what happens over here. Hey, morning, Truth, morning, Riga, morning, Abdul, morning, everybody. So here we are looking at US 30. We're trying to confirm the bias right now. There is real no bias. There's clearly no bias here. It's 40 points in the green right now. So we're just going to wait for this to stabilize. The thing is, if we don't have a breakout, that's completely fine. We'll skip the breakout. We'll move towards the other entries here currently. Also, Deswell, he identifies here. I'll just turn this on here. Identifies these entries here on the 3-minute. I'm not going to call these as an actual trade, but we're going to follow it because Deswell did mention this yesterday. He mentioned that if if you follow the first valid signal on the 3-minute after open, generally pushes through in that direction. So we'll see what happens there. But here comes a bullish move that we were waiting for. You can see that price faked out below and then it shot right back up, right? This is something that we want to be very careful with because yesterday this is the same thing that happened. If you guys remember, we took the buy, it spiked downwards and then it shot all the way back up. This would technically be the breakout, but I don't think I'm going to be taking it because of what happened yesterday. I don't want to get caught on the wrong side of the market when price is being manipulated, because obviously this is clear manipulation, right? You can see how far it dropped right here. We were looking for a bullish push. It dropped about 1,000 pips, and then it came out for that bullish push that we were waiting for right here, over 1,000 pips. I probably wouldn't want to take this as a breakout because what might happen is it might have to retrace down a little bit before it comes back down. But this retrace down might be too far of a push where you might get stopped out, right? So this technically right here would be the breakout. It's an iffy breakout because it has such a long wick on the top side. We generally don't want any resistance on the top side, but there was here, and you can see how price is coming down exactly where I identified, right? I mentioned it was such a big candle that it's going to have to come back down slightly before it possibly will swing back up. So this is why I entered the trade, because I mentioned, if your stop loss that you're applying the breakout, it's going to be about 500 pips. So if you enter this trade here, you'd be really close to your stop loss, right? So guys, it's all about being patient, right? You guys don't want to hop in the trade right away, especially if the market's moving like this. You don't want to hop in right away because you want to wait for the market to show you exactly where it's moving. And this is why I decided not to take the trade. And I'm glad I didn't, because look, we would have gone stopped out if we entered this trade. It's about being smart, guys. You guys got to be smart about your trades. You can't just be hopping into stuff and hoping that'll go your direction, because price is obviously being manipulated right now. Look how much it's moving. This doesn't make any sense. Looking at the fundamentals over here, they're currently, well, now they're 27 points. So you can see price is very erratic right now. It's bouncing up and down. It was 80 points in the green. Now it's 27 points and it's just going back and forth. So at this point right now, I would recommend that you guys just wait. I wouldn't take the breakout. Now we're looking for the scalps. But even in this case, price is moving this fast. It's going to be very risky for us to trade on the 1 minute. We might not even be able to trade on the 1 minute because our stop loss is 300 pips, right? Each candle here is moving at least like 700, 800. You need to have a really big stop loss to handle any of these price movements. Like this is like 1,000 pip move. Yeah, I'll keep the requirements here and we'll be looking, but I don't think I'm going to be really looking at taking anything right now. The market is just moving too erratic right now. Last thing you want to do is enter a trade at the wrong time, and then you end up getting caught in some drawdown or a huge spike in the opposite direction of where you're trading. So I'm just gonna move these higher just so that we can follow through, but we're not really going to be entering any trades right now. This market is just too crazy right now for us to be entering any trades because it's going back and forth. It hasn't set a direction. Once it sets a direction, it'll be a lot easier for us to take a trade here. So here's a clean chart with nothing on it. Obviously you can see this doesn't look normal, right? This is normal when price is going up, when it's coming down, when it's going up sideways or whatever. This is literally spiking up, spiking down, just whipsawing back and forth. So you guys got to be smart about it. Don't just hop into trades because you think it's going one direction or the other. Because there's obviously no. Okay, so there was news right here from CNBC. They said Dow rises 60 points, and this is probably what causes the drop, right? Because you guys remember, if you guys have been with me for a while and you guys have been listening to my analysis, whenever the CNBC announces something, if they say the Dow is rising, price usually does the opposite. So if you see a news event like this, you can see how price spikes all the way back down, right? You don't want to trade whatever CNBC is reporting. If they're reporting something, you probably want to do the opposite. Because the thing is, a lot of people are hopping in, they're bandwagoning on that news right here. When did this news event come out? 6:02. All right, so around 6:02, this news event came out, and then you can see people are starting to react from it, right? So like you can see right here, people are reacting to the good news at 6:02. It was going up, and then they just spiked it down to stop everybody out. Then they spike it back up to like bring everybody back in, and then they spike it back down to stop everyone out again. So people just get trapped in here because they see the news here at 6:02. They buy it because they say, oh, Dow is rising. They dump it to stop them out. They pump it right back up so that people will hop back in, and then they stop it back. They dump it back down to stop them out again. So as you guys can see here, it's a psychological thing, right? That's why I don't follow news at all. I look at news and I see how price reacts to the news. Whenever they say Dow is rising, I'm not going to buy the Dow. I'm going to do the opposite, or I'm just going to wait to see what happens after, because generally what happens is they'll some people call it churning. They try to churn like traders, right? They drop good news here. They churn people to come in. They drop it down a little bit to like have people buy the dip because they're like, oh, it's going to dip. They push it up a little higher. Then they drop it down like 1,000 pips to stop everyone out. Because, obviously a lot of people can't hold on to a 1,000 pip move if you have a decent lot size. Then they pump it back up to have people hop right back in. Then they dump it back down. And it's all manipulated to stop people out, because what they'll do is they'll stop people out on both sides for buys and for sells. And then after, they'll move it in the direction that it's supposed to go to. So this is pretty much, what we're waiting for here. So no entries available right now. I'll put the requirements for each strategy here. We might not be able to trade on the 1 minute because it's just too choppy right now. So there's a strategy for that right there. Again, right here for the snipe, there's actually a couple snipe entries that were available right here. It looks like, it looks like there was a couple snipe entries available right here, like this one. That would have hit TP already, it looks like. Yeah, full TP off that. And then again, right here, this would probably be another snipe entry, but I don't know if I would take it because of how price is currently moving. Last thing you want to do is enter trade, and then it goes the complete opposite. So if you guys were following the daily entry, yesterday it was a full TP. I didn't take the trade. I wasn't even following the daily TP here because of the news that was happening. But as you can see here, I'll put the requirement for that strategy here as well. A lot of people like this strategy. This is one of our most favorite strategies because it's really simple. It's like almost impossible to get wrong. You just wait for the market open here at 6:30. You look for the first valid K2 momentum signal. You enter for 1,500 pips, and then you just let it go. So if you took this trade here, following the requirements, this is from yesterday. This is a trade you do once a day. This is on the 11th. You can see look for entry after 6:30. Confirm the first valid K2 momentum signal, which should be right here, a valid sell signal. And then you enter on the open of the falling candle. TP's 1,500 pips. So if you were to let that run, you can see right there, went straight to TP. So looking at the next one over here, this is going to be 6:30. And basically, you're just going to be looking for the first valid K2 momentum signal after this time, which is probably going to be a sell, because the most recent one was a buy. Momentum swing has to swing down for a sell after that. Looking over here at the 3 minute, nothing available yet. Nothing available here on the this one over here is, and there's just nothing available right now. So let's see. All right, technically there's gonna be a one minute entry right here, but obviously we're not gonna take that trade. Not yet, at least. Let me check the fundamentals real quick to see where it's moving. Close this. Fundamentals are currently 76 points in the green, which is good, but like I mentioned, I want it to be above 100. When it's above 100, that's when the bias is a bit stronger. Looking over here at the actual stock index, let's refresh this. It's currently very green. So a lot of these red stocks have turned green. So I think we're gonna have a bullish move coming up shortly. Looking over here at the futures data, it's currently only up 16 points, so it's not very strong. Looking over here at retail sentiment, it's currently 52% long. So we'll see what happens in the next few minutes. Obviously price right here, it still hasn't gone above 100, so there's no strong bias there. And if you just zoom out from this point at the clean chart, it's still going sideways. So there's still no direction set. You can see prices just going down, going up, going down, going up. It's going back and forth. So we might have to wait until after the news passes at 7 o'clock. 6:42 right now. News is coming up in about 18 minutes for the JOLTS job openings. I don't know how much this is going to affect the market, but it's going to affect its medium news. So it'll most likely affect it somewhat, right? But you can see here, price is starting to move up. It's moving the direction of the technical bias. However, the fundamentals still haven't confirmed yet. Still 62 points in the red and the green. Now it's 82 points in the green. So it's moving closer to the 100-point mark, right? Once it gets above the 100-point mark, that's when the bias becomes stronger and when we start to look for trades in that direction. So that's basically what we're waiting for right now. We're just waiting for that confirmation, but there just hasn't been any confirmation just yet. All right. Yeah, Miles said it's Trap Tuesday. Yeah, no, exactly. So the same thing happened last Tuesday, right, Miles? When you were trading last Tuesday, it happened with a breakout, actually. The same thing happened where it spiked back and forth. I think it hit our TP, then it spiked down. So, another reminder to you guys is when you guys reach your TP point, it would be a good idea for you guys to close out in profit. And then just wait for the next one, because the last thing you want to do is hold on to a position too long and then price whipsaws on you. And if you guys don't know what a whipsaw is, it's like when price goes in one direction, then it swings the other way. So if I go over here and just rewind this to this candle right here, this is what would be considered a whipsaw. So this would be the whip where it comes down, and then the saw is when it goes opposite. So right here, it's going down, right, obviously. And then here goes the whipsaw, or it goes right back. And then there's another whipsaw right there, another whipsaw right back down. And then it goes back up again right here. So these are whipsaws because it keeps going up and down, up and down. That's what people call whipsaws, if you guys aren't familiar. So if you ever hear me say that term, whipsaw just means that price is bouncing back and forth like wildly. It's going like super far up and down. One way to identify that is just to think of a whip, right? Think of a whip. So a whipsaw goes up and down. And that's just, basic terms if you guys aren't familiar with it. Because I know a lot of you guys aren't familiar with the trading terminology that a lot of people use. And that's basically what that means. And as you can see right here, price is not moving where we were anticipating it to, right? Because looking at the fundamentals again, fundamentals are now red. So the market right now is moving really crazy, guys. I don't know if you guys can understand or fathom what we're looking at here. The market generally doesn't do this for US 30 unless there's something crazy going on in the world, like COVID, a war going on, something that's pushing price. Price should not be whipsawing like this much. Usually it'll whipsaw in the first 10 minutes or so, or not even 10 minutes, maybe less than that, like 5 minutes. It'll whipsaw the beginning and then it'll choose its direction. It'll either go up or it'll either go down. However, today the market is just crashing. Damn, what's going on here? US 30 is dumping like crazy right now. Let me check the news real quick. I don't think there was any news that was released. Let me refresh this. But the Dow is dropping and the S&P is dropping right after they released the news of it being bullish. So they said Dow raised 60 points, and then now it's having a late reaction to either the news or something else happened, causing price to just dump down heavily. But this is why I was warning you guys not to trade during this time, because last thing you want to do is enter or buy, and it comes crashing down, right? Let's see how big of a drop this was. Yeah, 2,000 pips nearly. It's about to pass the 2,000 pip mark. So market open right here. If we measure it from the top right here to down, this is just from market open. It's already dropped well over 2,000 pips. And this drop right here happened within the last couple of seconds. So I think you guys should be careful. I don't even know if I want to trade today because of how the market's moving right now. This candle moved almost 1,000 pips. The one prior to that, 600 pips. The one prior to that. And these aren't normal movements, right? Normally, price will be moving about 100 pips per candle, right? 100 pips or less. These are 1,000 pip moves right here. So, yeah, you guys definitely want to be careful with this. Let's see. Yeah, so if anything, this might be the daily entry here for a sell, but I'm probably not going to take that if even that becomes the case. Yeah, and don't follow that move there, guys, because if you guys follow that drop right there, it's going to come right back up. It's going to have to swing back up, because this is where I'm going to mark up where price is likely to return. So price opened right here at 630. So if anything, price is probably going to come back here, and it's going to come back to entry point. And then once it reaches this point right here, it'll either break above and continue pushing, or it'll drop right here. So two scenarios that can come out. One thing that you guys always want to keep in mind is where the opening price was, because that's where the fundamentals start to shift, right? Because that's where this is based off. It's currently 62 points in the red, 43 points in the red. When it goes back up to original price, right here, this is going to go back to 0. So this is the equal, basically. If it stays below here, then it'll just keep being negative. If it stays above, then it'll swing back into positive. But right now, don't chase the move, guys. The market's just moving way too crazy right now. There's no news here that indicated why that big drop happened. So they dropped like 2,000 pips. Obviously, something would have to push it. NASDAQ is now in the red. So in the morning, everything was green. The Dow 30 was in the green. S&P 500 was in the green. NASDAQ 100 was in the green. Now they're all red. So the entire market is red right now. So whatever happened affected the market across the board. It wasn't just US 30. So something to be aware of. And personally, I think that you guys should probably just sit out the market. I'm probably going to sit out the market, but also answer questions. So if you guys do have questions, drop your questions in the chat, and then I'll answer whatever questions you guys have right now. I'll try to see if there's any trades, but obviously you can see the way that the market's moving. It's not necessarily the type of market I want to be trading in. Because the last thing you want to do is enter a trade, and then it goes complete opposite, like as soon as you enter the trade. Here, let's see. Rick said everyone is walking out over vaccine mandates. Are you being serious, Rick, or are you messing around? Because I don't know, I can never tell when Rick's being serious or not. Let's see. I'm on CNBC right now. See if I see anything here. I don't see anything about that, but maybe. Or look, hey Rick, this is probably what happened, bro. It's probably because of your Raiders. I don't know if you guys saw this. I was like, man. I saw this earlier this morning. I was like, damn, this dude just got fired off of that. Let's see. Okay, so let's go back to the charts real quick. Okay, so Albert said it's serious news on the mandate. Okay, so I guess because of the mandate, that's probably what oh damn, Peter too. So Peter said, yeah, pilots walked off, over 2,000 flights canceled. Damn. Okay, so that might be it. I mean, Rick was probably being serious this time about what he was what happened. Yeah, so Peter said that over 2,000 flights were canceled because the pilots walked off. Yeah, honestly, I don't know, guys. Well, we'll see what happens, but this move here isn't like a normal move, right? You don't see something like this happen for nothing. There has to be some sort of news event that was released. I don't see anything here on CNBC. Usually they report on it by now. Okay, let's reduce cancellations after. I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens here. Let's see. Let me see. This news was from yesterday, I think. No, this is from today, actually. Okay, so this news was just released. It said Southwest Airlines reduced cancellations after chaos sparked traveler outrage. Yeah, so it did happen over the weekend, but I guess now they're responding to it. But yeah, if like everyone starts walking out, like, Southwest, United, just like Rick said, obviously this is going to affect the market. Let's check the stock index. I just want to see what stocks are like causing this drop right now. There isn't really that many. Visa's down, Johnson & Johnson's down, Amgen's down, Microsoft's down, Goldman Sachs is down, but they're not very strong. They're kind of just like right down the middle. Going back over here, it's currently back in the positive again. So now it's back 13 points in the green. I was expecting there to be worse, but I mean, Boeing is still up. I was expecting Boeing to be down too, but Boeing's actually up right now. Salesforce is the only company that's really holding, the Dow up right now. They're up 4 points. Everything else is, I mean, pretty much normal or red. And you guys can see right here, see how I marked up this price right here? This is why it's important to mark up this price right here, because this is where price opened. So looking at current price, it pushed up exactly to where I identified, right? I said price is going to push up to this point, and then it was going to do one thing or another. It's either going to keep pushing up higher, or it's going to bounce off it and come right back down. And as you can see right here, price is pushing back up higher. So we'll see what happens next. But yeah, guys, this is the crazy market. I wouldn't recommend you guys trade during this. If you guys want to trade demo or trade a small account or lot size, if you guys want to still play in the market, you guys can play in the market, but use a smaller lot size, because the last thing I want to do is for you guys to be gambling during this crazy trading day, and then you end up losing more than you wanted. I mean, you could make a lot more than you planned on too, but you know, you're literally gambling at this point because you don't know what's going to happen next. Say price reaches this point and then it just dumps again right after, like another 1,000 pips. So yeah, if you guys want to play in the market, play with a smaller lot size, or just sit out the market. I think for me, I'm probably going to sit out the market, guys. I can't stomach these movements here. Like, say, imagine I'm taking a 10 lot, right? This is like a 1,000 pip move here. It's like a 10,000 risk move right there. So I mean, it could be a 10,000 profit, but more likely than not, it's probably going to be going the opposite way. So I would be careful. Let me go over here and check this real quick. Refresh. Now it's back up 50 points in the green. Yeah, man, what a weird market today. Let's go over here to a clean chart. Like, this doesn't make any sense, right? You guys can see how it's moving right here. Like, this movement right here was literally what happened the entire day yesterday. So as you can see here, I'll just show you how price moved yesterday. All right, so like from that morning session yesterday, the entire morning session, it moves like, okay, from like 6:30, it moved like 2,000 pips, right? For the entire day, pretty much, it moved like an entire 2,000 pip range. If you look at this, like each candle was like 1,000 pips. So this range for this morning, market's only been open for like X amount of time. It's moved like way over 2,000 pips. So just something to keep in mind. And you can see right here, price doesn't even continue pushing up right away. It just comes right back down. So this might be another fake out where it comes right back down, just whipsaws back down, or it can just push back up and just break through it. But not necessarily a type of market I want to be really be stuck in, because the last thing you want to do also is be stuck in a trade and then you're going to be upset this entire morning, like why you enter the trade, right? Because I've done that before where I'm like, well, I'm not going to trade today, and I enter a trade, I end up stuck in that trade for like an hour, and I'm like, damn, I should, and I'm in drawdown, so I'm like, I should just never have entered that trade. And I'm sure you guys have been in that position before, where you guys see an entry, you know you shouldn't take it, but you still take it, and then you're just kicking yourself the entire morning, hoping that you can get out and profit. All right, so let's see what else we got over here real quick. Let me scroll up and see what else am I missing over here. Yeah, Abraham said, don't follow, this is crazy. Yeah, I agree, Abraham, definitely not. Shane said I marked the daily, it blew right through it, not looking good. Which daily were you looking at, Shane? Because there was no daily that was that came up yet. So the market opened here at 6:30. You're looking for the first valid K2 momentum signal after it, but I haven't seen anything here for the daily yet. So I'm not sure which one you saw. We did have one from yesterday, which was over here. This was yesterday's daily. So we mark up 6:30 right here. The first valid signal is right here. It's a sell signal with a red candle within it. This would have been the daily from yesterday, which would have hit full TP. But we don't have one for today yet, because this was when the market opened. We don't have a signal that's come up yet. If we do get a signal, it's going to be a red signal. Unless it's invalid, then we'll be looking for the next one. But for the most part, and we just don't have one for the day yet. Let's see. Henry's asking, do you not have a stop on the daily? Henry, in the requirements right here, it says fixed TP stop loss for 1,500 pips. So there is a stop. You should always have a stop for every strategy that you apply and every entry that you take. You should never have no stop, because I've seen a couple people where they trade with no stop, and it's very dangerous. Because, like, for example, here, if you're trading like this, say if you're just taking like a random trade, right, for like a buy or a sell. Say you're taking a buy here and you didn't have a stop. Like, say your stop is normally supposed to be like 500 pips. This is where your stop would technically be if you had a stop loss. All right, here, let me just do this real quick. Okay, so say, for example, I'm just using this as an example, why you guys should have a stop loss. Because like right here, if you have your stop loss at 500 pips, you would get stopped out right there, right? If you didn't have a stop loss, you would push like from here all the way down here, like almost 2000 pips. So you, instead of losing 500 pips, you'd lose like 4 times that basically if you didn't have a stop loss in place. So I always recommend that you guys always have a stop loss at all times. You can have a big stop loss just as a safety net, but there should always be a stop loss just in case. All right, let me scroll up real quick. All right, let me scroll down. Let's see. So Henry said, so when would the last time frame to enter the daily order? So Henry, the requirements are right over here for that one too. For the daily entry, it has the cutoff is by 9 a.m. Pacific time. So if you're in Pacific time, it'd be 9 a.m. If you're in Eastern time, it'd be 10, 11, 12. It'd be 12 p.m. So that's going to be the cutoff for you and for me. I'm not sure where you're located, Henry, but it would be 9 a.m. Pacific time. All right. Let me scroll down a little bit. Let's see if there's anything else here. Dejan said it was because the Colts choked last night. Dejan, yeah, there were some good games last night. I didn't watch them, but I watched the highlights. They're pretty good. Let me check the news real quick. I thought you meant the Jolt, because the Jolt news event was today. It hasn't come out yet, but it's going to come out soon. It's 6:58 right now, so it's coming out in about a minute. I'll come back and check that. But at this specific moment, we'll just be waiting for. Personally, I don't think I'm going to take any trades today, guys. Technically, this would be a 1-minute scalp here, but I'm not going to take it, obviously. You can see how price is kind of moving right now. It's going back and forth. But yeah, this would be technically a 1-minute scalp for the 1-minute pivot, but I probably wouldn't. Well, I'm for sure not going to take it. I'll just mark it up here for you guys, but I'm not going to take it. We'll just see if the market's still moving like smooth enough for these trades to be hitting. So yeah, and this would have hit full TP, it looks like. Yeah, it already hit full TP right there. So I mean, as you guys can see, the strategies still work. It's just very risky to be taking these trades right now. So using this strategy right here, you want to confirm a valid K2 momentum signal. Right here, we have a valid sell signal. In order for it to be a sell, you want to make sure that it closes below the pivots, which you did right here. So you can enter on the open of the falling candle, which would be right here. Sorry, guys, I had to sneeze. But yeah, so this right here would have been the entry if you were applying the strategy. Obviously, I didn't take the trade, so we're not going to count it, but we just want to follow it to see if it actually plays out and stuff like that. So that's that. Other than that, let me see if there's anything else here. So I'm sure a lot of you guys, there's still some people here who are trading. Like looking at everyone's trades over here. Wow, a lot of you guys still took a lot of trades. So scrolling down right here, Tuan, he's been trading even though the market's moving all crazy. He locked in 4,558. Nice work, Tuan. His other account, 7,676. Another one right there for him. Ryan Visco over here, he's still trading even though the market's moving all crazy. He locked in 2,813. Nice work, Ryan. Again, Tuan over here at 10,000. So he's just stacking up these wins right here. Ryan again over here, Ryan Visco up 3,432. Tuan again caught the buy. He's up 19,000. So this dude's he's just stacking up these trades like back to back. So and Sheriff over here too. So Sheriff has all these wins here, right? He's trading all these different pairs, but he's having all these wins here. So definitely great work right there, Sheriff. Yeah, he has no losses the entire day, 1,900. Imagine if he took bigger lot sizes, Sheriff, that'd be such a big profit there. But this shows that if you guys know what you're doing, you guys can trade even during crazy conditions like this. I would trade myself, because personally, I could probably take trades myself. However, I don't want to take trades on the live because I'm going to be going in and out of these trades really quickly. And the problem with that is a lot of you guys can't follow that quickly, right? I don't want you guys to be following what I'm doing and then end up losing trades because you don't exit at the proper time. So this is why I wouldn't really want to trade live with you guys while taking risky trades. That's why I never take risky trades with you guys here. I usually take that when I'm trading by myself or in different sessions. So DJ over here as well. DJ took the trades here this morning. He locked in a total of 2,331. Nice work, DJ. So a lot of you guys here, or following my analysis earlier, right? I mentioned that price is probably going to push back up, and a lot of people just put buy stops there and they caught it as it shot up. Because I did mention that I was going to shoot all the way up here, and that's probably what happened with Swan here, because he's caught that huge move right there for 7,000. He basically caught it from down here when I was marking up that price was going to push up to this line right here, and he just rode it all the way up because he locked in a total of, that's 1,000 pip move right there. He said I caught that buy, so he held it for a pretty good amount, made 7,000 off that. So he caught that for a big move. So he probably put a buy stop right here off this point, and then when it came down, he just caught it as it swung back up because he caught about 700 pips off that move there, or he probably would have caught it right here, and then he just rode this all the way up for about 700 pips. So definitely great work right there. If you guys understand like how we trade here, and you guys can just use my analysis as your confirmation, you guys can easily lock in profits, right? Because I'm here giving you guys like what I'm anticipating, and pretty much everything that I'm anticipating is playing out, right? So again, right here, remember when I drew this earlier, I said price is probably going to come up to this point and it'll do one of two things. It'll either break above here or it'll reject off it and come right back down. And look what happened from this point. I'm sure someone locked in some profit off that analysis there. So as long as you guys understand what I'm talking about here, and you guys are using my analysis to your advantage, you guys can easily profit off this. I could have taken profit off this as well, but like I mentioned, I don't want to take risky trades on this live because I know there's a lot of new traders here, and I don't want you guys to be taking trades that you guys don't understand without actually, analyzing it yourself. So great work amongst everyone here. I mean, you guys are all killing it. Twan again right here, see, he took the sells. So the same analysis that I just talked about, right? I mentioned a price was going to come up here and it was going to come down. Twan used that as his advantage, and look at all these sells he took here. He's now 22,000 in profit. A lot of people here just like to listen to my analysis. A lot of people don't even use the strategies. They just listen to what I'm giving, the advice that I'm giving out here. Not really advice, but like more so what I see happening. And they hop into these trades. So great work right there, Twan. He waited for that drop right there and he locked in even more profit. So big congrats to you guys here. Clyde as well. So Clyde here, he took a couple trades here for US 30. And damn, he made about 1,700 this morning. So great work right there too, Clyde. See, like I didn't even take any trades myself. So I have no profit for myself, but I'm glad to see that a lot of you guys here are still profiting off my analysis, even though I'm not trading myself. And it doesn't matter because I'm going to trade later anyways. Once I get off the live session, I'll trade risky on my own, and then I'll catch up to you guys. It's not a big deal. I mean, I have the entire day to trade. So during this morning, this is basically where I give you guys my time. If I see any good trades that are not risky and are almost like guaranteed hits, I'll take them, obviously. But I don't want to take the really risky ones while we're on here, especially for the people here on the YouTube, because the YouTube is delayed. So I can't give you guys, real time analysis of like what I'm doing. RJ over here as well, locked in 4,133. Nice work, RJ. And Jay over here as well. Jay locked in a total of 5,833. Nice work, Jay. All right, cool. You guys are doing great this morning. Adrian over here too. Adrian's up with 927. So even though I didn't call any trades this morning, I'm glad to see everyone here killing it. Rick too. Rick's up 822. Nice work, Rick. Alkin over here as well. He's up 5,215. Great work, Alkin. Ryan Visk over here up 2,813. Nice work, Ryan. Albert here, he made a little mistake above, but he locked in a total of 2,368 this morning. Nice work, Albert. His other account over here, 3,064. Great work, guys. And then he said, okay, last one. So Albert was like first entry, okay, taking a break. And he's like, okay, last one. So he took another one here. He's up 3,591. Nice work, Albert. Rick too, he said he's done for the day. He locked in a total of 2,321. So guys, this is why it's important that you guys understand the strategies that we're applying here, so that even though I'm not taking trades during the live because it's too risky, you guys can still lock in some pretty nice profit on your own. Roland here as well, locked in a total of 826. Nice work, Roland. C-Soup locked in a total of 8,414. Great work, C-Soup. Ryan Visco again locked in a total of 3,432. Nice work, Ryan. Clyde here up, about 1,000, about 2,000 there. Roland again, 1,040. Tommy over here up 2,330. Nice work, Tommy. And then Larkin over here, total of 4,986, basically 5,000 for the day. He had a little accident there. If he didn't have that accident, he would have locked in a total of, well over 5,000 for today. So great work, Larkin. Great work, everybody here. Yeah, it's great profits. I didn't realize all of you guys were pretty much taking trades off my analysis here. But I'm glad to see a lot of you guys locking a ton of profit off that. So other than that, Lucas's question here is on a 25K account, risking 125 each. 1-to-1 is fine, or should I go for a 1-to-3? I mean, it depends, Lucas. I don't know what strategy you're applying. It just depends on what strategy you're applying. If your strategy has a high win rate, then you can use a negative risk reward. If you're using a strategy that has a low win rate, then you should probably use a positive risk reward or a 1-to-1 at the very least. So it just really depends on like what you're trading, Lucas. I don't know what strategy you're trading or what you're applying. So I mean, you just have to base it off like how you trade. Let's see. So you have a 25K account times 3%, 750. Yeah, so 125 is fine. For your risk, if that's what you're risking. But I mean, it just depends on like what strategy you're applying. Obviously, we have a high win rate here. You see everyone's profits. Everyone has like pretty much straight wins. So if they have straight wins, that we can use a negative risk reward because we're making way more profit than we are losing, and we know we barely lose off this. Rick said your analysis and reminders really helped me out, Shawn. Thank you. So Rick here in profit again. So Rick made another profit, 418. He's in total 2,828 for this morning. Nice work, Rick. And Rick's on fire. Rick's been like killing it all day, every day. It's like a brand new Rick here. Twan here locked in another profit off that for the buy and the sell. He locked in a total of 23K for the day. Nice work, Twan. And you guys are on fire today. It's back-to-back wins. And it's fine that I'm not taking trades, guys. I know in the past, like I kind of get annoyed because sometimes I miss trades while everyone's taking trades, but it's cool because the thing is, I've been trading during Asia sessions, so I make the profit back anyways. It's not like it makes a difference for me because even though I don't trade much during the US session when the market's moving kind of crazy like this, I'm still gonna make profit at one way or another. It's not like I'm going like a whole, like I'm not going through a dry spell. I'll be back with these profits soon. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this technically would be an entry using the high-low strategy right here. I don't know if I would really want to take it though. Let's see. I'm just gonna follow it. I'm gonna stick to what I was saying earlier. I'm just not gonna take any trades for now. I'm just gonna follow these trades and see how they play out. And it's probably a good thing that I didn't take a trade because it would have stopped me out. No, actually not yet. But yeah, I'm just gonna wait, guys. I'm not gonna trade anymore right now because of how the market's moving. It still hasn't really chosen a direction yet. So I don't recommend anyone. Well, if you guys want to trade, I'm not gonna say not to trade, but I'm personally not gonna trade myself. Let me just refresh this real quick. All right, so the market is now red. It's currently down 64 points. Not a lot, but it is down. Looks like there's some news going on right now. Divvy Home CEO joined CNBC. It's not relevant. I thought it was something like relevant because it was breaking news, but it's not. Yeah, see, and this is why I wouldn't have taken the trade there. So I'm going to listen to myself this time because I always tell myself I'm not going to trade, and then I end up trading and I end up losing some trades. So I'm just going to listen to myself today, and I'm not going to take any trades. If you guys do have questions, drop your questions in the chat. I'll answer all your questions. Otherwise, we'll see what we can do from here. Let's go back to the daily entry over here. So this is technically the daily entry right here, guys. Like I mentioned, I'm not going to trade today, or for now, actually. But this is the daily entry right here. So if you guys do want to enter this, I personally don't really recommend that you guys enter like late over here. I mean, you guys can if you want. So it's just really up to you guys. If you guys want to use a smaller lot size and just hold on to it, actually that's what I might do. I might just use a smaller lot size, like a 1 lot, and then just let it play out. Because this is the daily entry right here. All right. So I'm going to enter it from right here. I actually already entered it. I entered it like up here, but I took it with like a very, very small lot size, like 1 lot. So I'm only risking like about $1,000 off this trade, or 1,500 off this. Actually got it at a small discount. So we'll see what happens from this point. I just want to follow it so I could kind of be in the game with you guys. I know you guys get that FOMO feeling, and I get it too. It's not like, just because I've been trading for so long doesn't mean that I don't get FOMO. But I'm just gonna play around with it and we'll see what happens here. But like I mentioned, it is a risky time to trade right now, so I don't really recommend people trade. But if you guys want to trade, you guys understand the risk. Obviously, a lot of people here understand the risk because they've been trading and they've still been locking in some pretty nice profit. Damn, that's crazy. This is one for the month. All right, looking over here, let's see. Yeah, my cousin Jose over here, he said, okay, I'm done for the day, lost a bit, made it back. You gotta stop doing that. This is my challenge account. So yeah, my cousin Jose is currently at 1,859. So nice work, Jose. He had a couple accidents over here, a couple losses, but then he bounced right back here and made his profit back. So nice work, Jose. Great work on that there. Alex over here as well. He's up 1,909. Great work, Alex. Rick said, Dan, trust me, I'm coming from a professional account blower upper. Stop trading today. Yeah, just be careful and don't really risk it. Here's Abraham. So Abraham used smaller lots. He locked in a total of 285. So it's still good, Abraham. Profit's profit. Abraham did understand the risk, so he's taking smaller lots and he's just playing around with it. So great work right there, Abraham. Other than that, it's a Eunice as well. Eunice is up 796. So nice work right there, Eunice. Great profits by Eunice. Let's see. I think that's it for right now. I don't see any other profits. Oh yeah, and Surin over here too. So Surin locked in a total of 2,510 euros. Nice work, Surin, for the day. So you guys are doing pretty good. I mean, overall, everyone's doing pretty good here. Scotty over here too. He's up 752. All wins, no losses. Great work, Scotty. Other than that, I think that's it for right now. So let me see if there's anything else here that I need to look at. All right, so I'm gonna go here to the Zoom chat and see what I missed because there's a couple messages over here. Dion's asking, is it from the holiday yesterday? I don't think so, Dion. Yesterday wasn't really a holiday. It was just like I mean, it was Columbus Day, but we don't really celebrate Columbus Day here anymore. I think they changed it to like Indigenous People Day. So it's not a federal holiday where things were actually closed. It was just banks were closed, but the market was still open. Yeah, CT over here said CNBC will not say it's happening. They are with Biden. There's a big lie about Southwest Airlines canceling thousands of flights over the weekend for bad weather. It was because they left, and more companies are going to do it now. Good to know. So CT did confirm that that all the walkouts and stuff were happening over the weekend, which I did hear of, and I did see that they were blaming it on like airline cancellation, but I didn't realize people were walking out. But good to know. Good to know that that's happening, so we could see if that's going to affect the market all throughout the week. So something to keep in mind. See, Mallory said she was predicting disappointing jobs. Let me see this real quick. Yeah, so Mallory over here actually predicted this was going to happen. So she messaged here in the group at about 6:52 at 7 o'clock. They released information. They were anticipating the jobs to be about 10.95 mil. It was actually at 10 million, 10.44 mil. So it was like pretty bad. So good prediction on that, Mallory. Yeah, looking at current price, that's probably going to cause price to come down eventually. It hasn't really come down yet, but it looks like or actually it did. So right here, the news came out at 7. As soon as the news came out, price kind of dumped a little bit right here. So it came up and then it dumped about 1,000 pips actually, right there. And then it came right back up, and now it's probably going to come right back down. Because what happened here was price dumped, it stopped people out, and then now it's coming right back down. So good identification on that, Mallory. I didn't even bother to take a look at that, but thanks for your prediction. It actually played out perfectly. Okay, let me see what else we got here. CT said we had a bad jobs report last week. Market's still digesting it. I agree 100% CT. Roger said, when you mark up the market opened, are you looking at the opening of the first candle or closing the first candle? So Roger, for the opening, I mark up the like where the market actually opens, right? So this 629 is when the market opened. from 629 to 630. So at the close of 629, that's where I mark it up, that line pretty much, because that's when the market actually opens, like at 630. That's like the baseline for like when market opens. And here we go, as price starts to drop further. I'm currently in this right now too with you guys. So it's currently in profit about 251, not a huge profit, but it's something. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to mark up these TPs. This is going to be TP1, 70. TP2, 750, and then full TP, obviously. All right. Just getting it all marked up here. And guys, just remember that when price reaches these TP points, you're supposed to move your stop loss and profit. I mean, you don't need to, but it's advice to move your stop loss and profit, right? A lot of people don't move their stop loss and profit, and then they wonder like, why didn't they make profit? Because you guys have to move your stop loss and profit. I mean, you don't have to, but it's advice. So like, if you guys want to have consistent profits, you guys can't get greedy. You guys have to at least move your stop loss and profit when it's needed. You don't have to move it specifically to certain points, but you know, at least in profit or slightly in profit, so that you guys can follow it properly. All right, so let me see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. So CERN is now currently up 3,082 for the day, 3,082 euros. So nice work right there, CERN. Straight wins for the entire week. So yeah, as you guys can see, CERN sends me his profits every day. He locked in for today, 3,000 euros. Yesterday, 3,000 euros. Again, the day before that, 3,000 euros or 2,000. And then on Friday, 1,400 euros. So definitely great work right there, guys, for everyone. Nice. Clyde's snowing over there where Clyde's located. I'm not sure where Clyde's located, but damn, it's nice snow over there. It's raining over here in California as well. And this weather is kind of weird. It was like really hot the day before. Now it's like super cold. Brian over here is currently up 1,418. Nice work, Brian. Yeah, big congrats to everybody here who's locking in all of these profits. Let me go back to the chat over here for Zoom and see what else I missed. Kip said, yo, that 3-minute breakout strategy actually hit. So let's go to the 3-minute here. I'll mark it up at 630. Oh, wow, it did, huh? So not this strategy right here, but basically, it's basically a daily strategy applied on the 3-minute. Deswell mentioned it yesterday. He said he's been applying it. So he's been applying this right here. He waits for the first valid signal on the 3-minute after 630. We had a valid signal right here. And if you would have taken that trade, if you guys were on the live session yesterday, Deswell mentioned it. So big congrats to Deswell for, I'm pretty sure he caught this trade here. He mentioned that he waits for the first valid signal on the 3-minute. And then he takes it similar to the daily, not the daily, but it's a smaller move, 500 pips. So he took that there and then full TP off that. So that's pretty nice. We'll keep tracking this as we go along. Kip, I know you're aware of it. So you guys here, if I forget, just remind me like, hey, take a look at Deswell's daily strategy on the 3-minute, because it does work out pretty nice. Like this is a nice, like little to no drawdown off this. So it's something that we could probably start applying. And this is what it's about. You know, the whole K2 community is about helping each other out. Like Deswell figured out the strategy. He could have kept it to himself. He didn't need to share with anybody, but he brought it up yesterday. He's like, hey, Shawn, I've been doing this every day and it hits almost every day. So he showed it to me and I was like, okay, cool, we'll try it out. So we've been trying it out and it's actually been hitting. So that's the thing about K2, right? A lot of other groups, people like to hide stuff from each other. They don't like to share things with, you know, the community. But for us here, we always share stuff with each other. If we see something that works, we'll share with each other. And if it, you know, if it fits the K2 criteria where it's a high win rate strategy, then we start using it officially. So definitely great work right there off that. We'll continue testing it as well. You know, we're always testing whatever works here. And if we find something that works very well with the K2 indicators, we'll start using it. So that's great. I mean, that's good. We have another 3-minute strategy then, if that ends up playing out properly. I'll have to back test it, or I'll just introduce it to like the admin group, or if you guys in the group want to back test it as well, feel free. The more people we have testing it, the earlier it'll be for us to apply it as an official strategy if it continues to work consistently. So let's see. See this over here. Oh, gotcha. Okay, so Shane said that he was using Global Prime. So I've never used Global Prime, but from my experience, Shane, I noticed that other brokers like broker data, because we use currency.com for our data, right? I've been testing this for like years. I've been applying these strategies and trading on US 30 for years. I've always found currency.com to be the most accurate. One is okay, but I think they're still a little inaccurate. I haven't used Global Prime, but from what I've heard from other people, that's probably the worst broker data that you can use. Because I've seen a lot of other people who had the same issue as you, where they saw signals where they didn't appear on ours, and they were usually not good signals. So I would probably not use Global Prime unless like you absolutely have to use them. Nobody in the group uses them, and everyone who's used them in the past usually have had issues with them. So I probably wouldn't recommend that you use them unless absolutely necessary for trading with them. Other than that, means it's you sound like someone that's checking. Rick said, Shawn, fight the FOMO. No, exactly. I gotta fight the FOMO. Rick said, I'm actually up 3K, 6K in 2 days. Friday is my minimum trading days. Nice, Rick. So you're about to pass your FTMO, man. Big congrats to Rick, man. It's a huge step for Rick over here, getting that far with his FTMO without getting FOMO, like how a lot of people have in the past. Yeah, Abraham said, thanks, Shawn, for today. I guess I'll be off for today. Yeah, Abraham, I'll see you tomorrow if you already logged off that. Let me see what else we got over here. Coach CJ is asking, what's the stop loss on the daily entry? New here, just want to make sure I got it right. So these are the parameters for the daily entry right here. Stop loss is going to be 34,562, and the TP is going to be 34,262. I mean, there's different parameters here that you can use for the TP stop loss. To get the TP2, just divide the TP by 2. So you get the half mark, and then divide that again by 2 to get TP1. And that's how you get both of those. But yeah, stop loss is going to be 34,562. Full TP is going to be 34,262. But just remember that when price reaches TP, if I give you guys updates, move your stop loss and profit to be safe. All right, see if I missed anything else. Oh, nice. So Clyde's in Utah. Yeah, I bet it's snowing there pretty hard. Let's see. CT said, biggest news, John Gruden resigns from the Raiders over bad emails. That will resonate more with the masses. Exactly right, CT. Yeah, just let everybody sell off, and if that becomes the case. If everyone's really upset about the Raiders losing their coach, you should just have everyone sell off US 30. Nice. So CJ's in the trade with us too for the daily. So we'll see what happens from here. And Shane said, oh, no doubt, but the prop firm I'm with on a challenge uses them, so I'm stuck with them for now. Got you. So yeah, Shane, if you are using them, you can still use a different broker. Like what I would recommend is use currency.com to do like your mapping and stuff, to chart everything, and then just have another tab here with your other broker, which is Global Prime, and then just have your order box right here, because you can just order your trades. So what you can do is you can identify the trade here, just go over here and then enter the trade, enter for a buy or sell, or just hit buy or sell up here to enter the trade. And then you can set up your TP stop loss. That way you have better data. But I mean, it's really up to you, whatever you prefer on there. Noel is asking, hello, Shawn. Just want to know if you call any trades this morning. Yeah, Noel. So we're in the daily trade right now. I'm not sure. Did you just get on the live session? Because we've been on the session for like over an hour now. We did see a couple trades. However, I'm not sure if you noticed how the market was moving this morning. The market is moving very choppy, so we didn't really take very many trades, but we did take a daily entry, which is currently in profit right now. So not sure, Noel, if you just, I'm not sure if you just joined the room or you just weren't paying attention like the previous hour, because I'm not sure if how much of this do you know what's going on, because we did look at trades here and people did lock in profits. However, the trades that we've been copying or that we've been taking, the only one that we're officially in right now is going to be the daily, and we kind of got it at a discount. So I'm currently in profit, even though it's not directly in profit on the charts. But oh, gotcha. Okay, Noel. So Noel says, sorry, I just left and prepared going to work. Gotcha, Noel. Yeah, so we're currently in the daily entry right now, but it's not something that I recommend anyone take. We're just taking it as a speculative trade because of how the market's moving this morning. The market's moving really choppy. It's not how it's normally moves. Like normally it'll move pretty smoothly, but just zooming out from here, you can see that there's a lot of choppiness, right? It shoots up, shoots down, shoots up, shoots down. There's no specific direction it's moving in. We also look at the fundamentals over here, refreshing this. It's currently 55 points in the red. It hasn't really been one way or the other. Usually we want it to be negative 100 or a positive 100 in order for us to determine, what our bias is, whether we want to trade for a sell or a buy. But currently today, it's just been going back and forth. Also looking at the stock index over here for the Dow 30, you guys can see that's kind of just flatted out, right? Salesforce is still up. I don't know what's going on with Salesforce. They're the only ones that are up right now. They're up 4 points. Home Depot is up 2 points. Nike is up 2 points. But then again, right here on the red side, they're also red as well. Caterpillar's down 2 points. Goldman Sachs down 2 points. Amgen's down 2 points. So it's kind of just flat line down the middle. If you look at the index here, it's just flat, right? It's not really moving one way or the other. So with today's market conditions, it hasn't really provided many entries for us. Obviously, I'd like to trade very conservatively. I don't like giving out bad trades here. That's why we don't really take trades unless they're like absolutely certain. Kind of similar, like giving basically my breakdown moving here. And everything's pretty much played out. If I trade for every breakdown that I gave today, I probably would have made a lot of profit by now. However, I didn't, but a lot of other people have taken it here. So people are in profit. It's just that I haven't called any official trades because nothing here is really looking good enough for me to call them as official entries. But there are entries I've been appearing. So yeah, today's not really a good day to trade well. So if you're not on the session, you didn't take any trades, I think you're probably in a better position than if you were to take trades and not really know what was going on, because the market is really moving kind of choppy this morning. Let me see if there's anything else over here. So Shane said might do that actually because they run almost exactly the same with the exception of price points. Yeah, exactly, Shane. So you can do that. That's usually what other people do here too, and basically what I do with FTMO, right? I use my trading view for charting, and then I just automatically enter on my MT4. Well, I just have my MT4 down here, so I have it in my separate window, and when I want to enter a trade, I just hit buy or sell. All right, let me see. Prometheus is asking, would people in the group be offended if someone private messages them for help? Prometheus, if you're in the premium, like if you're in the K2 community, then people are fine with you messaging them. However, if you're not in the group, then people will probably think you're a scammer. Like, straight up, people are just going to think you're a scammer because we're a pretty close-knit group. And like, there's a lot of us in the group, but we're still pretty close-knit. Like everyone knows who everyone is within the K2 group. So if you're like a random, I'm not sure if you're in the premium right now, but if you're not in the premium and you're just messaging from an outside source, they're going to think that you're a scammer trying to ask for Bitcoin or something like that. So if you're in the premium and people know who you are, nobody gets offended when you ask for help, right? We all help each other. We're all a community. However, if you're an outsider and you try to ask for help, people are probably going to think you're a scammer. So that's going to be the difference between whether people would respond to you or not. Because, we all, like if someone gets a weird message, they'll send it in the group and they'll say, hey, is this guy a scammer? And they probably wouldn't respond to you. But if you're in the group, people will respond to you, and we all want to help each other and make sure that everyone's on the same note. So yeah, short answer to your question is yes, but no. They probably wouldn't be offended if you're in the group, but if you aren't, then people are going to be suspicious as to who you are. Nice. So Deswell just sent me his markups here. So he tested the KT strategy on S&P, and he locked in some pretty nice profit off that right there. So he locked in 6,000 off that. He's been applying the same strategy that we just went over, the 3-minute strategy that Deswell. This is Deswell. He's the guy that brought up the 3-minute strategy, and he's been doing pretty good. So that's probably something that we'll start applying, Deswell. Thanks for letting us know. Looks like you're applying it on the different things too. US 30, gold, S&P, everything looks pretty solid. So it does look good for the most part. Charlie over here just sent his profits. He's up 388 for the day. Nice work, Charlie. He had a little small loss up there, but he made it back with these other trades below. So nice work off that, Charlie. Yeah, no, this looks good, bro. This looks good that he's able to test this and make it off that. Charlie said the losses off the breakout. Yeah, man, that was a risky trade. I'm surprised you took it, Charlie. Charlie likes taking those risky trades. Funny. It's funny, but I mean, sometimes it hits. Like sometimes we don't take it, and Charlie's like the only one that takes it, and then he makes some pretty nice profit off it. But the breakout is risky, so that's kind of something that I'm not necessarily. I'm not really like looking towards a breakout as much anymore because the market has just been kind of choppy. When the market smoothens out, we can start using it again. But right now, it just hasn't been really moving that well. Another question from Noel. Noel is asking for TradeStation broker. Is it the same market price as US 30 currency data? No, it's not. Every broker has a different pricing, Noel. It's not going to be a huge difference, but it's going to be slightly different, maybe like a few cents or so. I think for TradeStation, you guys use the futures data, so it'd be BYM. So pricing for this is 34,305. Pricing for this is 34,000. It's off by like 100 pips, which is not like a big difference. Or no, actually, it's 1,000. Yeah, it's off by like 100 pips, so it's not a huge difference. But you're still gonna base things off. Like you're not gonna use the same price that you use off this with this, right? You still have to calculate your pricing off this. So like if you're gonna trade directly off here with TradeStation, you would enter the trade and then you would just set it up. Like if you're, taking the daily entry, you just set it up. Like the main thing is going to be your entry point. So like say, for example, here, you've seen entry off whatever data you're using, you enter off here, you're going to have the price point right there. So from when you get that price point, you can mark up exactly, what your, like what it's going to be. You just set it up like that. And you're like, okay, this is going to be my TP and this is going to be my stop loss. So what I recommend, Noel, because I think like, it seems like you kind of are not familiar with like how everything works. Probably try it out with a demo first to make sure that you actually know what you're doing and then actually go do it. Because the thing is, the last thing I want to do is for you is to think, oh, it's going to be exactly the same. And then you take a trade and you don't know what you're doing. So the pricing is not like it shouldn't make a difference for you, right? If you know what you're doing, it shouldn't make a difference for you because the thing with the pricing is that you're still going to have your own pricing for your own broker data. So it doesn't matter if you're using currency.com data, what was the one that Shane was using? I forgot. Shane was using like something prime. Like if you're using either one, you're still going to mark up your pricing off that specific broker. Like even off MT4, MT4 is like way off from currency.com. But I just look at what the entry points are here. So I see what the entry point is. I enter on MT4 and then I mark up the actual TP stop loss on MT4. I don't mark it up on here. This is just for demonstrational purposes and for people who want to see how we trade off of off the screen here. So that's my advice to you, Noah, because I don't want you to be all lost and not do things properly. I want you to actually understand what you're doing first before you actually trade a live account. All right, guys. So I think that's it for today. Do you guys have any other questions? Let me see if there's anything else here. It's 7:35. The only reason I want to get off right now is because I don't want to be tempted to enter any trades. I see how prices starting to move now. It's starting to move a little smoother, but I don't want to be tempted to enter any of these trades. So I don't want to FOMO into anything. So if you guys do have questions, always feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I think I'm going to be calling it a day for a bit just to get off the charts because the last thing I want to do is hop into trades that I shouldn't be entering and then regret it later. So yeah, no problem, Noel. All right, so I'll see you tomorrow, Noel. I'll see everyone else tomorrow. If you guys do have questions, feel free to reach out through email or through Telegram. Otherwise, today's just a crazy day, guys. Today's a day where you probably shouldn't be risking too much. Hopefully tomorrow smoothens out and becomes a lot better. But I think for today, you guys should probably just take it easy and wait for the market to smoothen out. Or if you guys want to trade, just wait a couple hours. Wait until the market starts moving smoother. So let me go back over here to the previous chart. All right, so you don't want to trade a market's choppy like this, right? When market's moving smooth like this, like this, like this, or even like this. When it starts to move smooth like this, then you guys can trade. But for right now, you can see market is still pretty choppy, right? It's just going up and down, back and forth. Once the market starts to smoothen out like how it's moving over here, then you guys can trade. Just what you can do is just zoom out from the chart and see how price is moving, right? This is one thing that you can do. I'll just show you guys a little trick that I do. I'll zoom out. I'll mark up from when the market opened right here. And then mark up where price currently is. So as you can see right here, price is not moving directional at all, right? It's just bouncing back and forth. If you do this and you're just like, okay, this is how I want price to be moving smoothly, right? If it's moving smoothly, then all right, take the trade. If it's moving smoothly right here, all right, take the trade, vice versa. Just keep marking it up where price is moving smoothly. And you're like, okay, if price is moving smoothly like this, down, up, down, up, down, up, etc., then you're like, okay, then I should probably trade. This right here, there's no down, up, down, up. This is just down, up, down, 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 up. It's kind of going all over the place. And that's something that you guys can use. And there's little tricks here that you guys can just play around with to figure out how price is moving. Another thing that you guys can do is you guys can turn on the pivots indicator to see if it's moving smoothly, right? You just turn that on right here. It's super choppy. So you probably don't want to trade around this point, but when price is moving up smoothly, then, it's probably a good time to trade. So something to, just keep in mind. But my advice is to probably just sit out the market, because you probably don't want to be trading when the market's all choppy like this. So, yeah, other than that, I think that's it. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. And then I'll catch you guys in the chat. If you guys do have questions, just reach out or put it in the chat, and then I'll just put them out there, whatever your responses are. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys tomorrow for the next live session. So have a great morning, guys. And